Impulse buying is a phenomenon that most people have experienced at some point in their lives. It's that spontaneous and often irresistible urge to purchase something unplanned, driven by emotions rather than rational thought. Understanding the psychology behind impulse buying can help us gain insight into why we sometimes buy things we don't need and provide strategies to control these urges. At its core, impulse buying is influenced by a combination of psychological, emotional, and environmental factors. One of the primary psychological factors is the concept of instant gratification. Our brains are wired to seek immediate rewards, and purchasing an item on impulse satisfies this craving. The dopamine rush associated with acquiring something new creates a pleasurable experience, reinforcing the behavior and making it more likely to occur again in the future. Emotions play a significant role in impulse buying. People often shop as a way to cope with negative emotions such as stress, sadness, or boredom. Retail therapy, as it's commonly known, provides a temporary escape and a boost in mood. On the flip side, positive emotions can also trigger impulse purchases. Celebratory moods and feeling good about oneself can lower our guard, making us more susceptible to buying things on a whim. Environmental cues heavily influence our purchasing decisions. Retailers are well aware of this and design their stores to encourage impulse buying. Tactics such as placing small, tempting items near the checkout counter, using bright colors and attractive displays, and offering limited-time discounts are all strategies to trigger spontaneous purchases. Online shopping platforms employ similar techniques, such as personalized recommendations and flash sales, to entice consumers to click the buy button. Social factors also play a role in impulse buying. The desire to fit in, impress others, or keep up with trends can drive individuals to make unplanned purchases. Social media amplifies this effect by showcasing curated lifestyles and possessions, creating a sense of urgency and FOMO, fear of missing out. Seeing friends and influencers flaunting their latest acquisitions can pressure us into making purchases we hadn't intended. Understanding these underlying factors can help us develop strategies to control impulse buying. One effective approach is to practice mindfulness. By being aware of our emotional state and the triggers that lead to impulsive purchases, we can create a pause between the impulse and the action. Techniques such as deep breathing, counting to 10, or even stepping away from the situation can provide the necessary buffer to reconsider the purchase. Another strategy is to establish a budget and stick to it. Setting clear financial limits can create a sense of accountability and make us think twice before making an unplanned purchase. Keeping a spending diary can also be insightful, as it allows us to track our buying patterns and identify recurring triggers. It's also helpful to create a waiting period before making a purchase. Implementing a rule such as waiting 24 hours before buying anything non-essential can reduce impulse buys. This cooling-off period allows time for the initial excitement to fade and for rational decision-making to take over. Limiting exposure to tempting environments can also reduce impulse buying. This might mean unsubscribing from promotional emails, avoiding unnecessary trips to the mall, or removing shopping apps from your phone. By reducing the number of triggers, we can minimize the temptation to make impulsive purchases. Finally, focusing on long-term goals can help shift our mindset from immediate gratification to future rewards. Whether it's saving for a vacation, paying off debt, or investing in education, having clear and meaningful objectives can provide motivation to resist the allure of impulse buying. Visual reminders of these goals, such as vision boards or progress charts, can reinforce our commitment and keep us on track. Impulse buying is a complex behavior driven by a variety of psychological, emotional, and environmental factors. By understanding the reasons behind our impulsive purchases and implementing strategies to manage them, we can gain greater control over our spending habits. Practicing mindfulness, setting financial limits, creating waiting periods, reducing exposure to triggers, and focusing on long-term goals are all effective ways to curb the urge to buy what we don't need. In doing so, we can foster healthier financial habits and make more intentional choices that align with our values and aspirations. Comment with your favorite fact.